Hello dear traders, you're watching Financial Calendar on Insta TV with me, Anna Kasatkina. At the end of this week, financial markets will scrutinize the following macroeconomic events. On Thursday's afternoon, a September U.S. producer prices report is due to be published. Analysts predict the indicator to jump by 0.4% compared to August and by 2.6% against the previous year. Let us remind you that in August, the seasonally adjusted U.S. producer price index rose by 0.2% compared with July. The growth was moderate, but still the highest one since April. In the meantime, economists had predicted an increase of 0.2%. The lion's share of the growth was made by a rise in gasoline prices. Without volatile prices for food and energy, producer prices gained 0.1% in August. Such data is an evidence of the weakness of inflation in the US. Inflation indicators have permanently stayed below the target level this year. And as we know, low inflation is an obstacle to raising interest rates by the Fed. On Friday, a September report on consumer prices is to be released in the US. Economists expect a hike of 0.6% compared to the previous month and a 2.3% gain on an annual basis. In August, the seasonally adjusted consumer price index increased by 0.4% on a monthly basis. That was the best dynamic since January. In the previous month, prices went up by 0.1%. Economists had forecasted a rise of 0.3% for August. Year-over-year, consumer prices rose by 1.9%, slightly above the forecasted level of 1.8%. Also on Friday, the US will publish a separate report on retail sales in September. According to experts' forecast, the indicator can rise by 1.5% on a monthly basis. In August, retail sales in the US unexpectedly dropped by 0.2% compared to the prior month, missing expectations for an advance of 0.2%. Retail sales in the US fell in August as Americans spent less money for home products, cars and in online stores. It is worth of note that monthly retail sales data is volatile, not adjusted for inflation, and does not take into account the cost of most services, including housing rent and medical care. In addition to the above events, following statistics is on tap on Thursday and Friday. On Thursday, the US is to release data on initial jobless claims. ECB President Mario Draghi will speak at an event in Washington. Fed Governors Jerome Powell and Lael Brainard are also to deliver remarks at the same event. On Friday, New Zealand will publish a manufacturing index. The Reserve Bank of Australia is expected to release its financial stability review. China will issue trade data, and the US will finish the week with a preliminary report on consumer sentiment. And this concludes the calendar of the latest events on financial markets, prepared for you by Insta TV team. Thanks for watching and see you back soon.